If you imagine that you didn't have Set for School anymore and you had an opportunity to have a conversation and leave some of the parents with a really, really key message that you would love to share with them, what would that be?
Trust your instincts. I think as parents, there's no handbook. We're all learning. You know what your child needs deep down. And I think it's trust your instincts. You know your child inside and out. If you think there's something wrong or they're not progressing like you think they should be, or you think that they're going to struggle at school, give them the support they need and reach out to others around you. It takes a village to raise a child, doesn't it? Your instincts are there and you're doing the best for your child.
What about confidence? What is that?
Confidence is being able to ask for help, to be able to walk into a classroom and to walk up to a friend and say, do you want to play? It's building those resilient skills. All that falls into that confidence umbrella. Walk into the school gate and say goodbye to mum and dad at the door.
Today's episode is a personal one. I have the pleasure of having Emma and Susan from Set for School here with me today. Thank you, ladies. Welcome to Performance Starts Within.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
I feel like I'm the thorn between two roses here. I am actually really honoured to have you here today, and I get to facilitate this interview with you because my son Archie is 3 and he's about to get into exactly where your children and your students are getting to, transitioning from daycare, preschool, the age of 4 into school. Yep. And so all the questions are also curious ones for me to be able to talk to you. So thank you so much for being here.
And we're excited to help in any way we can.
Yeah, amazing. I wanted to set the scene with you guys on, tell me a little bit for those that may not know exactly what you do in your background. What is it that you do to help children get ready for school?
So we have a small boutique studio in Queen's Park in Sydney's eastern suburbs. We're sisters. So Susan has early childhood background. I have primary school and early childhood background, but am currently teaching in schools. And we decided that there was a gap for students being ready for school. And so we decided that we wanted to help as many students as possible. And so here we are, a couple of years down the track and loving our little studio and families that we've created.
I love that. And you've both got education in different spaces. And from my understanding, you've got education in early childhood. So what was that like for you?
It was very interesting. There's been a big change over the years of how early childhood education's run. It's now a lot more play-based, which play-based is great, but there's not those intentional teaching moments as much, which is where we come in because we're able to provide that play-based space, but have those intentional teaching moments to support the children and get them ready for school.
And I know even from my own experience with my little boy, he's been in daycare since he was 9 months old, just purely out of circumstance, cost of living, you work, breakdown of a family, I'm a solo parent, so you have to do those things. And one of the things I am only conscious of now is sometimes we miss some of the milestones that they're meant to achieve because we just don't know what they're meant to be.
Yes.
What is it that your experience is coming from, I guess, early childhood teaching now into primary? What are the key ones that we're finding that we're missing?
Well, I actually think that the expectations of the children when they get to school are a lot higher than what they used to be as well. Most children, when they get to school now, they need to know how to write their name. A lot of them already know their letters and numbers, whereas when we went to school, we got taught that at school. That's what we learnt during kindergarten. So there are some children that are missing those key skills, but along with that, it's the confidence skills, that social emotional, which is really important, being able to regulate their emotions, understanding that they have to do hard things, tricky things, and it's not going to be easy, and that's where that confidence comes in, that they will give it a go.
And I know confidence is a key word that we're probably going to talk a lot about today, because some of the misconceptions, I know that some of your parents have asked some questions for today, which is amazing, is the myth between readiness, like what is ready? Sometimes it's skill, sometimes it's milestone, but also some of it's confidence and emotional.
Definitely. So people see the term school readiness and straight away they think, oh, they're tiger parents pushing their children to read and write and do things before they're ready. Yes, that's some of the things we do, but our main thing that we look at is the confidence, building confidence in the children that come to us, as well as building those social emotional skills, learning how to play with others, interacting with children and teachers. They need to know how to interact with adults as well and ask for help.
And also building that resilience as well, that things may not always go their way, that they're able to deal with those big emotions in those group settings with peers and other adults.
And I'm learning this actually. I've been teaching my son Archie Trouble at the board game,
Yep.
and I think I've shared this with you where we played Uno together. But Trouble specifically, he's now learning that I'm not letting him win. I am letting him lose, so that he knows that he doesn't win every single time. But also his reaction is interesting. It's and I wonder how he would have learnt that if we hadn't actually played Trouble together.
And which is so true. A lot of parents and adults out there quite often let the children always win. So they're not learning those skills of
The disappointment of losing. Like, yes, it's disappointing that you lose, but, how do we move on from this? How do we build that resilience to go, well, next time I'll try, like, let's play again and maybe I'll win this time.
Yes.
So that's a learnt skill that they definitely need. And the more practice, the better. Definitely.
Yeah. And I didn't know any of this as well. I think with most parents, we become parents and whilst there's books out there on how to parent, we are evolving so quickly. And so we're just going based on what we were taught or what we're told. How do we know what is actually going to work between, helping them get ready?
Yep. Well, anything can help them. So there's no set rules. There's no set guidelines saying you need to do A, B, C, and D, and then they're ready for school. Every child is different, which means every activity that you do with them should be different and tailored to the child. So things that you do at home would be building up their independence to do things. So getting dressed by themselves, yes, it takes a little bit longer, but often you need to give them that time and space to learn those skills. I know putting on shoes is a big one that used to get me because you could do it in 2 minutes, but it takes them a good 5-10 minutes to get those shoes on. But it's an important skill that they need to learn, and that's building resilience, them learning how to put shoes on. If they don't get it the first time, they're going to may break down, may throw a tantrum, and then it's helping them navigate those emotions and move on from there.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Where did this all start? Because I know that you came from teaching primary and early education for yourself. What made you look at everything and start Set for School?
Well, I was a single parent as well. So I knew that I didn't want to stay in schools forever, and Susan didn't want to stay in early childhood forever. And we just saw that little gap of some of the children that were coming to school, me especially, working in schools, the children that were struggling that little bit. And it's sort of like, well, what's missing for them? What do they need to help them to feel confident at school, to be able to get through school? And it wasn't just that academics. I know with my son, he suffered a lot with separation anxiety. And so that was another thing that we looked at when we were thinking about starting Set for School, was how we can help those children. And small group classes where they do have to leave mum or dad or their caregiver for that hour and a half definitely does help, but it's short little stints.
And I think it's also coming from early childhood, I have the passion for teaching, but it's such a big group. Like, you can have 20 children in one group, so you're not able to support those children and work with the individual children on their goals. Whereas having the small groups, we can see the growth of all of our children that we've had come through the studio.
Yeah, so smaller classrooms.
Yes. And they get that one-on-one time.
Today, when I was on my way here, I ran into one of my families from today, and she was just saying, I just don't get the magic that you do. She's like, it's just magical what you and Susan do. She was saying that her daughter is now like wants to sound out every word, and that's not from us pushing them to read words. That's from us doing the activities in a fun way that they think it's a game and that they want to do it themselves.
And building her confidence in wanting to learn those skills.
Exactly.
Yeah. So working through that word confidence, what does that mean for them to be ready in confidence for school? Because we know that there's certain milestones we need to hit academically to be ready with writing and numeracy. Yeah. What about confidence? What is that? Confidence
is being able to ask for help, to be able to walk into a classroom and to walk up to a friend and say, do you want to play? It's building those resilient skills. All that falls into that confidence umbrella. Yep. Walk into the school gate and say goodbye to mum and dad at the door.
Being happy to walk into the classroom. Also, being able to look after their own belongings as well. Taking pride in their belongings is really important, because when they're at school, they have to look after their lunchbox, their drink bottle, their bag. They also have to be able to follow those instructions. So having the confidence to go, oh, I know what the teacher means. I know what I need to do, and being able to do it, not needing someone there to guide them the whole way. So confidence is a massive umbrella that a lot of things fall under. And it's not just that academic, but having the confidence helps with the academics because they're willing to give it a go.
And to ask for the help if they need it.
Yeah.
So asking for help is really important. obviously saying no, being able to say no to things when they're in certain situations. And I think coming from my background in policing, watching what that looks like when children have that confidence that they can stand up and say no or ask for a parent and things like that. What do you mean by confidence in skills then? If they have the confidence to, I guess, do their buttons up in bits and pieces, how does that flow into?
That then flows into the fine motor skills. So having the confidence to have a go at like undoing their lunch boxes, their drink bottles, doing their zippers up on their bags, looking after their belongings is all building those finger muscles, those fine motor muscles that then rolls into writing, into drawing, into playing with the children in the classroom. So it's really important that those things are built up. So then when it does come to the writing and the academics, they're ready to give it a go.
So they're not going to throw the toys out of the bath, for example.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from your side of things, watching them go from preschool into, I guess, school and now through your program, what are the key things that you're actually seeing with children that are going through your program?
A lot of it's the confidence and the separation anxiety we do notice a lot. So when they come to us, sometimes they go to preschool, and even at preschool they have problems separating from mum or dad. Coming to us, they have problems for a few weeks, and then the next few weeks they bound in to our classroom, which is really great to see. So it's those small steps that we take each week to build the confidence, yet again, to build their confidence up to go, okay, I've got this. I don't need mum or dad with me. I think that is one of the main things we see lots of. The fine motor is another thing. And I think that's due to parents unfortunately always being in a rush and doing things for their kids because it's easier than giving them the extra 5 minutes to put their shoes on, to get dressed in the morning, to help pack their bag. So they need those little moments in time to practice those skills.
Yeah. And I also describe, I guess, as a compound effect. Like one thing, whilst it might be in a rush in one moment, if you do it over and over, then it becomes a bit of a habit over time, and then they don't actually learn to develop it.
That's it. And they don't want to give it a go. They think, oh no, mum puts my shoes on for me, so I'm just going to take them out to mum, and mum will always do them. Whereas if they have that time to be able to practice, then they'll continue to learn and develop those skills.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it from, and I know so many mothers would be like this as well, or parents would be, it's really hard to parent. And it's really hard to say no to a child who then has a meltdown or a tantrum or has a big emotion reaction, and then almost triggers yourself as a parent as well. And you then have to regulate your child whilst regulating yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah. How do we keep doing that so that we can be not so harsh with our children, but consistent?
I think open conversation. Like, I think sometimes we don't give credit to children that they are very clever, and often some parents do not, I wouldn't say talk down, but they don't talk to them using big words. They're scared of using big words with kids, and children can understand big words if you explain it to them. So labeling feelings, labeling what's happening often helps then them overcome those times as well. So I can see you're frustrated, I can see you're crying and you're getting angry, but we need to get this done. Let's do it together this time, and building it up from there.
How about from you?
No, it's definitely labeling those emotions. That's a big one that I was going to mention as well. By labeling them, the children then know that it's okay to feel frustrated, it's okay to feel sad, to feel angry. But we do then also need to work out a way to work through them and to get the task done.
Yeah.
And we need to feel these feelings. We need to learn how to sit in those feelings as well, instead of mum fixing them or dad fixing them. It's how do we get through it ourselves that builds that resilience up too.
Yeah. And almost teaching ourselves, parenting ourselves.
Parenting ourselves. I still have to do it every day with my two. I've got older kids and they frustrate me, but I learn to take that big breath and count to 10, and then we move on. So, but yeah, it's definitely a learnt thing that children need guidance from their parents to overcome and to learn.
I definitely think that my son Archie's the biggest lesson in parenting myself. Not that, we've grown up and anything was done wrong. We've just evolved, and the way that we see the world and the way we need to behave and react and turn up is very different. And so I'm very much learning to regulate myself a lot with him as well, and find that I'm almost having penny drop moments in teaching moments that I didn't realize, but only when I have paused, not during busy times, as you described. So thinking of having a lot of compassion for our parents out there, and being that it is so hard.
Yes.
And knowing that Archie's now at that age where we're thinking of preschool for next year and school readiness, and he'll go to school in 2028, so in less than 18 months' time. What kind of things should I be looking for now for him so that I can keep an eye on that he's actually ready?
I would, as we've said, the confidence and social emotional regulation as well. So is he able to label his feelings if he's feeling frustrated or if he's sad, and how he works through those feelings is definitely a big one. Also looking how he interacts with his peers. Can he go up to somebody and say, do you want to play with me, or can I play? Learning that sort of thing. You're doing a great job with your trouble games and your games, because that's all turn taking. And at school, there's lots of turn taking that they need to be able to do, and learning, I have to wait my turn. I can't talk all the time. I have to listen and respond to my peers as well. So definitely that's a big one. What else do you think, Suze?
I was going to say the confidence as well, the resilience, those independent skills, to be able to do things on his own and to ask for help when he needs the help, but to also give things a go, like to have that confidence to give it a go and then be like, hang on, Mum, I need some help to do this.
Yeah, beautiful. I think he's quite a smart kid. So and you've met my little boy. We've had dinner together, and we play at dinner. It's my way of teaching him how to interact with people. And I'm a solo parent, and so he is at that age, one, I think age appropriately having those confidence challenges, but also that transition between being with me all the time, going to visit his dad is one of those things. And so whilst I'm keeping an eye on milestones, he's able to put his shoes on and has got a zipper that he can do up. Not quite the buttons, he still takes it off like he's the Hulk, but we're getting there. But definitely the confidence. So what kind of things could we do to help boost confidence so that he is quite independent and able to keep going when things get really hard?
I think trying tricky tasks like puzzles are a great one, because puzzles are hard. And you can extend them with puzzles, because there are puzzles that go up to 1,000 pieces. Not that I'm saying go out and get a 1,000-piece puzzle.
I'm going to get a 5,000 piece.
But you can start small with the puzzles and do them together, and then slowly you take yourself out. Also, Lego building is a great one where they have to follow the instructions, but they're doing it themselves. So that's building their confidence, and they get something in the end that they've built themselves, and they can take pride in that. So that's a great one too. I know that helped with my son. Like, he loves the Lego building, and he, like, the pride that he shows when he finishes definitely a tricky one by himself, and that just builds his confidence as well, I think. So like, you can do it in a fun way. Doesn't have to be all about or learning all the time, but even confidence going to a park where there's a bigger slide and saying, all right, I reckon we can have a go at this. Let's do it together first. And then, how about you go first and then I go, or building the confidence in those scary tasks as well.
Yeah. So it's the hard things with almost like a reward at the other side?
Yeah, you could use a reward, but you don't.
But it's just lots of praise and encouragement that goes with it.
Yeah. If you're if you celebrate whatever he's done, like, it doesn't always have to be a reward at the end or a bit of bribery at the end. Like, we're not saying bribe your child, because that gets very expensive. But even just making a big deal about, you did that by yourself. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud. Are you proud of yourself?
Acknowledge those feelings that he'll be having, that he is proud that he did achieve it by himself. Yeah. So then he's showing that confidence in himself, and
even saying, I can see that big smile on your face. You must be proud of yourself. So labeling that as well.
Love that. Yeah. What other things do you think for confidence wise? Say attachment. So a lot of parents have described, I put a poll out to social media on some of the mums pages, and one of the things that they came up was attachment as well. So whether they're clingy or they're not wanting to let go of mum or dad, what kind of things could help confidence wise that way?
Attachment is a tricky one, especially with different family dynamics and things like that. And it's building that trust within the child as well, that they know that you're going to come back. You'll always be back to pick them up. Because the clinginess often comes from, will mum be back to pick me up? What time will she be back? So it's having that trust with your child, setting those little routines as well. Like, I know a lot of parents will often draw like a little love heart on their child's hand and on their hand as well. So whenever they're thinking of them during the day, or if they're sad, they can touch the love heart and know that their mum or dad is thinking of them as well. It's kind of like that virtual hug. So they're things that you can do to then help with those clinginess or that attachment and that separation.
I know also some children might wear a watch, and the parents will show where the watch hands sit when it's time to be picked up, so that they have something visual as well that they can see. That's for quite children that do find the timing really hard, and they know. I know during my group sessions, if children are like, when's mum coming? I miss mum. I state exactly what we're doing. We've got 4 more things to do and then mum's here, so then we can count down until mum or dad comes. So that often helps as well. And they know they get our scratch and sniff stickers at the end of the lesson. So when you say it's sticker time, they know that it's time for mum or dad to pick up. And often by then they're like, oh, but we're done. We have to go home now. So that's when they're getting comfortable and they're ready to keep going.
And the attachment also comes back to, I don't know if you've heard of circle of security. And that's where you're their safe space. So they're always going to come back to that safe space. So it's then in the daycare or at Set for School, they find that safe space in myself or Emma, whichever teacher's taking the class, or their teacher at daycare. And then we're able to support them through those times as well.
They always say safe space always with your parents, right?
Yes.
That's where they, I don't want to use the word muck up, but they
do. They let their emotions out. Everything releases when they see you.
Because they hold it all together when you're not there. And then once you're there, it's...
So it's almost like a compliment that if your child's like, behaves themselves for grandma or Nonna in my case, and is beautiful all day and then comes home and has big 100%. Feelings. It's just that he's comfortable.
Yeah,
it takes the pressure off.
Yeah. Emma's son's the same.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely Susan and I take the time to get to know each child in our class as well and build that relationship with them. We like to try and find out what they like, what their interests are. So we have a few of our boys love Transformers. So we went and bought some Transformers so that then they have those toys there to help them settle into the class, or after they've done some activities, they often ask for those toys down. So we try and get to know each individual child as well to make them feel safe and secure at Set for School.
Yeah, beautiful. Talking about what you have seen going into primary as well, what would be something that is very well, I guess, experienced by some of the teachers if they haven't been set up for success?
Often it's the emotional regulation. So it's them not being able to regulate their emotions for the entire school day. So the entire school day is long. Like they have to be on ball for the whole day, on their best behavior for the whole day. And if they haven't had any of that experience, they're the ones that crumble, especially on the playground when it's the big open space. You often notice during mat times as well, the children that will want to touch people or can't sit up properly on the mat and can't focus and take turns. They're the ones that then struggle to listen and to take in the information that's being taught as well. But definitely the social emotional is our big one that we see.
And they quite often can't deal in group situations as well. So when they're out on the playground, they don't know how to interact with their peers. They want the game to go their way and only their way, rather than listening to others' ideas and playing together as a group. So
it's almost being back in COVID that you've been at home all day
100%,
and then we forget how to interact with people, or we just haven't been taught how to interact with people. I think there's a movie about this, isn't there? Yeah.
And it's like, I know that a lot of parents are like, oh, we could take them to playgroup, they do swimming, they do soccer, but all those activities, their parent is there with them. So that was one of the reasons why Set for School was, no, it's a drop and go session. So if they're not at preschool or daycare, they're still having that time where mum or dad isn't with them during that hour and a half, that it is like a school situation or a daycare situation where they are there with the teacher. So I think that helps as well, learning that mum and dad aren't going to be with them at school, that they do have to navigate those feelings by themselves as well.
And then they also have to listen to another adult. The teacher's there to give the directions and to support them and help them and guide them, that it's not going to be their mum or dad there helping them all the time.
Yeah, beautiful. I think I might have a look at some of the questions that we've got from some of our, if you're up for that. So some of your students, your students' parents have asked some questions from Set for School, but also I did a poll, like I said, through Facebook, some of the mums groups in Sydney and Central Coast, and they've given some responses. And so I'm going to share some of them with you. What simple routines at home make the biggest difference to school success?
Well, I think a lot of it does come down to, as we mentioned before, giving them that independence in their self-help tasks. So packing their bags, getting themselves dressed, opening lunch boxes, putting shoes on, all those things set them up for the success when they go off to school, because they are able to walk into the door and they know to put their bag on the hook. They know how to open their bag to get their lunchbox out. They're not having to ask for help for those small tasks throughout the day. So they've got that confidence to be able to then walk into the classroom and be like, yep, I can do this part.
Yep.
Yeah.
And adding to that, I know as a teacher, often on playground duty, getting packets of food that you have to open, yogurt that you have to open, which I don't mind. I'm more than happy to help. But if they're able to do it themselves, that gives them that more confidence that, oh, I've got this. I don't need to ask for help. Teachers are always there to help, but it just helps them be able to be more independent at school as well.
Yeah.
So practicing those skills as well.
And I guess also having those group activities where they're able to interact with other children. So then when they do go out on the playground, then they're able to interact with peers and make new friends, because they may go to a school where they don't know anyone. So they need to then start forming new friendships. And so having those extracurricular activities then allows them to form friendships and know how to interact with other people.
That's actually a really good tip, because Archie will go to a school that no one in his current preschool daycare will probably go to, mainly because of school catchments. We'll probably go to a public school. And so recreational activities that are outside of school will be great for friendships, and also for mums and dads, which is really good tips, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that at the school I work with, they often try and organise like a play group or a meetup before school starts. So that's a good way as well. If you find friends that are going to the same school, meeting up before school actually starts for little plays at parks. I know that helped with my daughter, and she's still best friends with the little girl that we met how many years ago now? She's in year 4. So, and they're still besties because I did a few play dates before they started school because she didn't know anybody going to the school. So that helps them with their confidence. They may not stay friends, but it's just that familiar face that they see in the playground or see in the classroom that then will help ease the nerves a little bit.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
Following up from that question, I'm just going to add my own personal, if that's okay.
Of course.
In regards to routine, and I'm sure many parents are like this as well, it's busy.
Yes.
We're working. I'm a solo parent. Not everyone's a solo parent, but if you've got both parents working, things are very busy.
Yep.
How do we maintain that routine? Like, what's perfect world here so we can get all of our milestones?
Top tip, do lunch boxes in the nighttime. That's coming from a parent of somebody that hates lunch boxes too. Lunch boxes in the nighttime, getting the uniforms ready the night before. Pack the bag as much as you can as well. So then the morning's nice and smooth. All you have to do in the morning is get dressed, breakfast, brush teeth, and then hopefully out the door, have a little play to calm the nerves, and then out the door. We do also recommend before the first day doing a few school runs, even practicing getting up, putting your uniform, packing your bag, going to school at the time that they'd go to school, to see how long it takes so that they get used to the routine as well, which is a great tip. So it's not that first day that you're doing the brand new routine.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And it is, as Emma said, it's being organised, and although it eats into your downtime of an evening, but if you're able to get those little jobs done, then it just makes the morning run so much more smoother for you.
Because you want a smooth morning. You don't want a morning where you're shouting and stressed, and because it makes them shouting and stressed.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I'm hearing my mother ring in my ear at the moment. And,
well, she was a teacher too, wasn't she?
She teaches year 3, but she wasn't a teacher. She was just becoming a teacher. She was early education whilst we were young, and she was a solo parent from when I was like 11 and my siblings were younger. They were 8 and 5. And she very much, she still says that you need to organise the night before, and you don't wake up with a messy house. You have everything packed away the night before, because then everything kind of works really well the next morning. And then you realise you have children and you're like, oh, I now know, Mum. I know how. Thank you, Mum, for lessons that are ringing for years. I've got some more questions for you. And there are so many important skills that need to be developed before school. Some parents only see reading and writing. What are some of the other skills before that they need before they go to school? Apart from that, we did kind of answer this already. But what's missing?
So we did mention the confidence, the independence, the resilience. All of those are very important. And then you've also got your fine motor. Your fine motor is a big one, because that's what's going to help them to develop their finger strength, which then helps them with their writing, which leads into everyday life. Like if they can do up buttons, if they can open their yogurt container, all those are fine motor skills that they need to build on.
So when people hear fine motor, they go, oh, writing, that's them holding a pencil. It's not just holding a pencil. It's all the other skills around holding the pencil. Holding the pencil comes last. So it's being able to cut, it's being able to use tongs, being able to spray a spray bottle, all those things that you don't think of that help those little hands build muscles to then be ready for writing, which we do a lot of that in our school readiness classes before they even pick up a pen to write.
So it was almost like if you keep doing everything for them, they're not going to actually, I didn't even think about build that strength in those fingers to be able to pick things up. It's not like they're going rock climbing, but basic skills that you need for life.
Yep.
And because everything is so technology based now, like children are on iPhones and iPads so early, they're actually not developing those muscles in their fingers to then be able to hold a pencil. And then they get up to year 3 where the NAP plan starts and things like that.
And they need writing stamina to be able to write for a NAP plan exam, which takes they're writing for almost 40 minutes. So 40 minutes of solid writing takes a lot of hand strength.
I know my hands would be sore after that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So it's definitely building all those other skills around it before you even look at writing. So yeah, it's important to build them at home because you can't just do that. We can't do it in an hour and a half session. So that's like something that we make sure our parents are working on at home as well. So
and there's easy everyday things you could do like Play-Doh, getting them to help hang the washing out with pegs.
Yep.
Spray bottles.
Spray bottles. We love spray bottles at Set for School. Water the plants with spray bottles. Cut the grass with some scissors. That takes a long time. It's a great activity too. But writing with big chunky chalk. So drawing with big chunky chalk. We have cutting,
threading.
Yep. Lots of plasticine, lots of different things that we do at Set for School. So you may see some of our posts that we are like, what are they doing with that? It's lots of headband, hair elastics pulling over different things. I could be using marbles for different things, and all that is the fine motor skills that we're working on.
Is it normal for your child to regress, have tantrums leading up to school?
Definitely.
Asking for a friend.
For a friend that has the name Tash too?
Yes. Yes, we've met on Facebook.
No, it's definitely normal for children to regress before starting school or for any big change in their life. It's the unknown. Like, how do we feel when we're walking into a situation that we don't know what's going to happen? We get nervous, and that's how they're feeling as well. But they don't know how to necessarily express those emotions. So therefore, they do regress and they will have the tantrums. They will become extra clingy.
And often that first term of kindergarten, when they've gone 5 days and then by the afternoon they are just exhausted. So most afternoons they have meltdowns. So that's totally normal because their little brain has been working the whole day. They've kept it together the whole day. They come home to their safe space, as we were talking about, and everything floods out and comes out. Doesn't mean they've had a bad day. It just means they've held it together the whole day. And now it's like the release happens, and they build up their strength for that too. So that's just building up that resilience of having to manage emotions all day.
Yeah. And I'm even noticing just how big life is this time of year. So when we get to the middle time of the year, even more so.
Yes.
They need holidays just as much as us. Yeah.
And then ramps up towards Christmas. So we're always chasing something.
Yeah. Beautiful. A couple more questions, and then I have a personal one for you. One of the biggest myths about school readiness that you've heard?
I guess some of the biggest myths is that it's all about academics.
Getting my child to read. I want my child to read before school. That's not what we do. So if that's what you want, we're not the place for you.
Because it's not about the academics. It's about all the other things we've discussed today: the confidence, that independence, the resilience, the fine motor skills. They all play a big part, and the academics comes once they're ready to learn. Once they've got those skills,
and it comes easy.
Yeah.
Once they have all those other skills, it just clicks, and that's when you know they're confident enough to learn it, and you see them pick it up really easy, which is great to see. Yeah,
beautiful. What is the one thing every parent wished that they knew before their child started school?
Ooh, that's a good one. We have a lot of parents that go, I wish I found you earlier.
That's our most common
That is the most common thing we get from parents, especially the parents that start halfway through the year with us or only do one term with us. I wish I found you earlier is one of the most common things. The other thing is that don't worry about the academics so much. Yes, it's good if they know how to write their name and know the names and sounds of the letters, but that will come if they have the confidence and those social emotional skills. That's the most important for
and they have
starting
that
school.
willingness that they want to learn.
Yeah.
So if they're willing to learn, they're going to pick up all those skills when they go to kindy.
Mhm.
And I think that's what parents see from coming into Set for School, that we give the children the time to be able to grow at their own pace, and we extend them where they need to be extended. Yeah.
So yes, we do have children that can read by the end of the year, but that's not our goal. So our goal is to make confident children ready for school. Yeah.
So coming to you too late. So when's a good time?
It would be a year before you start school. Because our program is built on throughout the year, we use a literacy program and a handwriting program, and it's all done through mat time games and fun activities, but we build on it throughout the year. So the children that come halfway through the year pick up where we're up to. We don't backtrack because there's children that start with us in the beginning of the year. We also have kids that come 2 years before, which we see the most progress with, of course. But yeah, so a year and a half, 2 years, you see the most progress, but we definitely recommend the year so you get the most out of our program and your child
And you
gets
can
the most
see
out of it.
you can see the children who start halfway through the year or that last term, they are further behind than what the children who have been with us for the year or the year and a half, because they've got those foundations there. They've got those skills already starting to build, whereas the other ones are just coming in and starting from scratch.
Yeah. So more time, more consistency
Yes.
builds confidence over time.
Yes,
as well.
definitely.
Yeah.
Confidence can't be built overnight. Confidence does take time to build. Resilience takes the time to build as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you for this conversation.
okay.
Again, it's personal as well, which is lovely, which is why it's also so easy to talk about, because I know many parents, and I know myself, sometimes question ourselves on, are we doing the right thing? Are we going to stuff them up?
Yeah.
Like, how can we make sure that they're, despite whatever's happening in life, are able to become
Good
humans,
Yeah.
good,
That's all you want.
well-rounded
That's what you
humans that can lose at trouble.
Yeah.
But my last question, I'm going to ask you both individually, because I would love an individual answer for you. And I haven't told you that I'm asking this question yet, but if you imagine that you didn't have Set for School anymore and you had an opportunity to have a conversation and leave some of the parents with a really, really key message that you would love to share with them, what would that be?
It would be, that's a deep one. It would be to trust your instincts. I think as parents, I know you said there's no handbook, we're all learning, but you know what your child needs deep down. And I think it's trust your instincts. That's coming from a mum as well. Like you know your child inside and out. If you think there's something wrong or they're not progressing like you think they should be, or you think that they're going to struggle at school, give them the support they need, and reach out to others around you. It takes a village to raise a child, doesn't it? So reach out to friends, reach out to family to help you in any way that you can. But your instincts are there and you're doing the best for your child. Definitely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. What about you?
Mine was similar. Mine
Sure.
She took your answer.
You
Sure,
did take
sure.
my answer. Mine was that you know your child. Like, you know your child the best. And while you bring your child to myself or Emma, to a daycare, to a teacher, they only see them for such a short amount of time. You are with your child all the time. So you know what they need. You know what's best for them. So, as Emma said, trust your instincts. You know them inside out.
Yep.
Yeah, love that. And my advice for parents is, yes, you are amazing and doing so
you.
well. And I absolutely love having conversations with you. I'm going to pop a link in our show notes because I believe you offer free trials
Yes,
for
we
people to come
do.
over to you.
And we are always happy to help. Like, we have people DM us on Instagram or email us, and we will share our advice. Like, we don't expect people to always sign up to our classes. Like, we want people to, because we believe in what we do and we see the outcomes. But we just want every child to get the help they need. So,
And to have that best start for
Yes.
going to school. So if we can help in any way.
yep, send us
always
an
willing to
email.
help.
Yep, if you have a question, happy to answer.
Amazing. You'll get my DMs.
That's okay.
Thanks,
We're like,
ladies.
this is Tash again.
Yeah, it's me asking for a friend. Thank you so much for joining me
Thank
today.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.